In 2025, hospitals are expected to see significant efficiency gains driven primarily by widespread adoption of digital technologies like AI-powered virtual care, streamlined electronic health records, and automated administrative processes, allowing healthcare providers to focus more on direct patient care while optimizing resource allocation and minimizing unnecessary procedures, ultimately improving patient experience and reducing costs. I invite you to understand more about history of medicine. Welcome to Evolution Channel. Prehistoric evidence of human engagement with medicine include the discovery of psychoactive plant sources such as psilocybin mushrooms in c.6000 BCE Sahara to primitive dental care in c.10, 900 BCE Riparo-Fredian, and c.7000 BCE Murgar. The history of medicine is both a study of medicine throughout history as well as a multidisciplinary field of study that seeks to explore and understand medical practices, both past and present, throughout human societies. The history of medicine is the study and documentation of the evolution of medical treatments, practices, and knowledge over time. Medical historians often draw from other humanities fields of study including economics, health sciences, sociology, and politics to better understand the institutions, practices, people, professions, and social systems that have shaped medicine. When a period which predates or lacks written sources regarding medicine, information is instead drawn from archaeological sources. This field tracks the evolution of human society's approach to health, illness, and injury ranging from prehistory to the modern day, the events that shape these approaches, and their impact on populations. Early medical traditions include those of Babylon, China, Egypt and India. Invention of the microscope was a consequence of improved understanding, during the Renaissance. Prior to the 19th century, humorism, also known as humoralism, was thought to explain the cause of disease but it was gradually replaced by the germ theory of disease, leading to effective treatments and even cures for many infectious diseases. Military doctors advanced the methods of trauma treatment and surgery. Public health measures were developed especially in the 19th century as the rapid growth of cities required systematic sanitary measures. Advanced research centers opened in the early 20th century, often connected with major hospitals. The mid-20th century was characterized by new biological treatments, such as antibiotics. These advancements, along with developments in chemistry, genetics, and radiography led to modern medicine. Medicine was heavily professionalized in the 20th century, and new careers opened to women as nurses from the 1870s and as physicians especially after 1970. Prehistoric medicine is a field of study focused on understanding the use of medicinal plants, healing practices, illnesses, and wellness of humans before written records existed. Although styled prehistoric medicine, prehistoric healthcare practices were vastly different from what we understand medicine to be in the present era and more accurately refers to studies and exploration of early healing practices. As human populations were once scattered across the world, forming isolated communities and cultures that sporadically interacted, a range of archaeological periods have been developed to account for the differing contexts of technology, sociocultural developments, and uptake of writing systems throughout early human societies. Anthropology is another academic branch that contributes to understanding prehistoric medicine in uncovering the sociocultural relationships, meaning, and interpretation of prehistoric evidence. The overlap of medicine as both a route to healing the body as well as the spiritual throughout prehistoric periods highlights the multiple purposes that healing practices and plants could potentially have. From proto-religions to developed spiritual systems, relationships of humans and supernatural entities, from gods to shamans, have played an interwoven part in prehistoric medicine. Byzantine medicine encompasses the common medical practices of the Byzantine Empire from about 400 CE to 1453 CE. Byzantine medicine was notable for building upon the knowledge base developed by its Greco-Roman predecessors. In preserving medical practices from antiquity, Byzantine medicine influenced Islamic medicine as well as fostering the Western rebirth of medicine during the Renaissance. Byzantine physicians often compiled and standardized medical knowledge into textbooks. Their records tended to include both diagnostic explanations and technical drawings. The medical compendium in 7 books, written by the leading physician Paul of Aegina, survived as a particularly thorough source of medical knowledge. This compendium, written in the late 7th century, remained in use as a standard textbook for the following 800 years. Late antiquity ushered in a revolution in medical science, and historical records often mention civilian hospitals, although battlefield medicine and wartime triage were recorded well before Imperial Rome. Constantinople stood out as a center of medicine during the Middle Ages, which was aided by its crossroads location, wealth, and accumulated knowledge. The Islamic civilization rose to primacy in medical science as its physicians contributed significantly to the field of medicine, including anatomy, ophthalmology, pharmacology, pharmacy, physiology, and surgery. Islamic civilization's contribution to these fields within medicine was a gradual process that took hundreds of years. During the time of the first great Muslim dynasty, the Umayyad Caliphate 661 to 750 CE, these fields were in their very early stages of development, and not much progress was made. One reason for the limited advancement in medicine during the Umayyad Caliphate was the Caliphate's focus on expansion after the death of Muhammad 632 CE. The focus on expansionism redirected resources from other fields, such as medicine. The priority on these factors led a large percentage of the population to believe that God will provide cures for their illnesses and diseases because of the attention on spirituality. There were also many other areas of interest during that time before there was a rising interest in the field of medicine. Abd al-Malik ibn Marwan, the fifth caliph of the Umayyad, developed governmental administration, adopted Arabic as the main language, and focused on many other areas. However, this rising interest in Islamic medicine grew significantly when the Abbasid Caliphate 750 to 1258 CE overthrew the Umayyad Caliphate in 750 CE. This change in dynasty from the Umayyad Caliphate to the Abbasid Caliphate served as a turning point towards scientific and medical developments. A large contributor to this was that under Abbasid rule much of the Greek legacy was transmitted into Arabic, which by then was the main language of Islamic nations. Because of this, many Islamic physicians were heavily influenced by the works of Greek scholars of Alexandria and Egypt and were able to further expand on those texts to produce new medical pieces of knowledge. This period of time is also known as the Islamic Golden Age, where there was a period of development and flourishment of technology, commerce, and sciences including medicine. Additionally, during this time the creation of the first Islamic hospital in 805 CE by the Abbasid Caliph Harun al-Rashid in Baghdad was recounted as a glorious event of the Golden Age. This hospital in Baghdad contributed immensely to Baghdad's success and also provided educational opportunities for Islamic physicians. During the Islamic Golden Age, there were many famous Islamic physicians that paved the way for medical advancements and understandings. However, this would not be possible without the influence from many different areas of the world that influenced the Arabs. In Europe after 400 CE, the study and practice of medicine in the Western Roman Empire went into deep decline. Medical services were provided, especially for the poor, in the thousands of monastic hospitals that sprang up across Europe, but the care was rudimentary and mainly palliative. Most of the writings of Galen and Hippocrates were lost to the West, with the summaries and compendia of Saint Isidore of Seville being the primary channel for transmitting Greek medical ideas. The Carolingian Renaissance brought increased contact with Byzantium and a greater awareness of ancient medicine, but only with the Renaissance of the 12th century and the new translations coming from Muslim and Jewish sources in Spain, and the 15th century flood of resources after the fall of Constantinople did the West fully recover its acquaintance with classical antiquity. Greek and Roman taboos had meant that dissection was usually banned in ancient times, but in the Middle Ages it changed. Medical teachers and students at Bologna began to open human bodies, and Mondino de Luzi circa 1275 to 1326 produced the first known anatomy textbook based on human dissection. Wallace identifies a prestige hierarchy with university-educated physicians on top, followed by learned surgeons, craft-trained surgeons, barber surgeons, itinerant specialists such as dentists and oculists, empirics, and midwives. The first medical schools were opened in the 9th century, most notably the Scuola Medica Salernitana at Salerno in southern Italy. The cosmopolitan influences from Greek, Latin, Arabic, and Hebrew sources gave it an international reputation as the Hippocratic city. Students from wealthy families came for 3 years of preliminary studies and 5 of medical studies. The medicine, following the laws of Federico II, that he founded in 1220 for the university and improved the Scuola Salernitana, in the period between 1200 and 1400, it had in Sicily, so-called Sicilian Middle Ages, a particular development so much to create a true school of Jewish medicine. As a result of which, after a legal examination, was conferred to a Jewish Sicilian woman, Vertimura, wife of another physician Pasquale of Catania, the historical record of before woman officially trained to exercise of the medical profession. At the University of Bologna the training of physicians began in 1219. The Italian city attracted students from across Europe. Taddeo Alderotti built a tradition of medical education that established the characteristic features of Italian learned medicine and was copied by medical schools elsewhere. Turisanus d. 1320 was his student. The future of pharma, evolution and progress ahead. In 2013, it took about $2.6 billion in 10 years to bring a new drug to market. By 2024, AI has cut this time to 4 years, and costs are dropping fast. But this is just the start of what's coming. The pharmaceutical industry stands at a turning point. We're seeing breakthroughs that were science fiction just 5 years ago, pills that send data to your doctor, treatments designed for your exact genetic code, and AI systems that can predict drug success rates with 90% accuracy. CRISPR gene editing has gone from lab theory to real treatments. Doctors are now curing diseases we thought were permanent. Big data systems process millions of patient records in seconds to spot patterns humans never could. And blockchain technology is making drug supply chains fully transparent. Thanks for watching my video for so long and stay tuned for more evolution and historycal videos. Thank you and greetings.